Stop. I need your full, undivided attention. Take a massive breath right now. This is not about comfort. This is not about motivation. This is about cracking the code to financial dominance and permanent freedom. You live in a world overflowing with information, technology, and capital, the greatest opportunity landscape in human history. Yet, we see the stagnation of the majority. The gap between those who are creating massive wealth and those who are consuming it is growing wider every single fiscal quarter. Why? Are the ultra-successful privy to some secret handshake? Do they have a higher IQ? Did they somehow start with a massive head start? No. That is the pathetic lie the average person tells themselves to maintain their mediocrity. That is the story of the 99%. I have sat with the titans. I have analyzed the architecture of enduring wealth. And the reason 99% of people will never get rich is terrifyingly simple: they operate with a flawed psychology and an even more destructive strategy. They are playing the game of money with a 1980s playbook in a 2020s market. Today, we execute a paradigm shift. We are going to expose the 3 core failures that define the majority, and we are going to implant the unshakable strategy of the financial elite directly into your nervous system. The failure of psychological architecture. Understand this: the financial game is 80% psychology and only 20% mechanics. You can have the best investment strategy in the world, but if your internal operating system is flawed, you will self-sabotage your way back to zero. The majority are fundamentally addicted to the lowest denominator of emotional fulfillment: certainty. They crave the illusion of security, the fixed salary, the predictable outcome, the familiar routine. They trade the potential for massive reward for the perceived comfort of the known. But the law of the universe is clear: wealth exists in the landscape of uncertainty. The elite understand that risk is not the opposite of success, it is the prerequisite for exponential growth. When the market panics, when the economy shifts, when opportunity presents itself wrapped in a layer of chaos, the average person freezes, retreating to safety. The elite? They see the sail. They are the predators in the downturn, capitalizing on the fear of the 99%. This addiction to certainty is rooted in a poverty mindset defined by 3 destructive actions. Blame: they externalize their shortcomings. They blame regulation, competition, the rich, the system. They own nothing. Excuse: they develop a sophisticated limiting narrative: I'm not smart enough, it's too late to start, I'm not a math person. This story is their prison. Instant gratification: this is the terminal diagnosis for wealth. The majority prioritize significance now. They mortgage their future for temporary emotional hits, the new gadget, the luxury liability, the constant pursuit of applause. They consume capital to signal status, rather than accumulate capital to purchase time. The financial masters are defined by delayed gratification. They understand that $1 saved and strategically invested today is worth $10 in a decade. They operate with the discipline of a professional athlete, sacrifice the momentary pleasure for the enduring win. You cannot expect to achieve financial mastery while clinging to a victim narrative. The only thing separating you from the wealth you desire is the story you keep telling yourself about why you don't deserve it, or why you can't build it. You must implement a V2MOM for your financial life. What is your vision? What is the value you must deliver? What are the obstacles you are using as excuses? Your wealth is a direct reflection of your value delivery and your emotional control. Change your internal operating system. Stop being a money slave, become a money master. The strategic flaws in capital allocation. Moving from psychology to strategy. The 99% are not just failing to win, they are aggressively losing due to 3 core, predictable, and catastrophic errors in their financial architecture. Failure number 1, the liability of labor, trading time for dollars. If your income is purely linear, if you are paid by the hour or by the fixed salary, you have capped your potential. You are exchanging your most valuable, non-renewable asset, time, for a fixed compensation. The elite do not trade time for money. They create leverage, systems, assets, intellectual property, or capital, that generate income while they sleep. Their primary focus is to build assets that put money into their pockets, while the majority are obsessively acquiring liabilities, things that take money out. You must stop being a consumer and start being an owner. Your ultimate goal is to purchase your time back so you can dedicate your energy to solving bigger problems and building bigger assets. Failure number 2, the crime of paying yourself last. This is the most common and most destructive habit. You pay the bank, you pay the credit card company, you pay the landlord, you pay the retailers, and then, if there is anything left, and there never is, you might save. You must treat your future financial freedom as your highest, most non-negotiable creditor. You need to execute the most powerful financial decision of all: pay yourself first. I challenge you to immediately redirect a minimum of 10% to 15% of every single dollar you earn. And here is the critical action step: automate it. Immediately. Use technology to transfer that capital into your investment account before it even hits your checking account. Systems beat willpower. The majority fails because they rely on emotion. The elite succeed because they rely on architecture. Failure number 3, the erosion by fees, the hidden tax. The majority of people are unknowingly allowing the financial services industry to siphon off their future wealth through exorbitant fees. High-cost, actively managed mutual funds, unnecessary brokerage charges, and small, seemingly insignificant expense ratios. Do you understand the math? A seemingly innocent 2% annual fee, over a 30-year period, can rob you of half of your accumulated wealth. You are paying a premium for average or below average returns. This is fiscal suicide. The strategy of the masters is simplicity and efficiency. They understand the power of compounding. The solution is low-cost index funds and broad diversification. You don't have to hire a high-priced expert to try and beat the market and fail. You simply need to own the market and minimize the cost of ownership. You must also engage a fiduciary advisor, someone legally bound to act in your best financial interest, not their commission account. Stop paying the industry to lose your money. Your financial strategy must be unshakable. It must be built on low-cost principles, massive diversification, and the ability to control the only 2 things you can control: costs and behavior. The ultimate driver, the architecture of fulfillment. Now, let's talk about the final, most important component, the why. If your why is superficial, a fancy car, a big house, you will ultimately fail because that success will not bring you fulfillment. Those things become liabilities. True wealth is not about money. It is about financial freedom, the ability to utilize capital as a tool to live your life on your own terms. The financial masters are not just focused on acquisition, they are focused on contribution. As I've said for decades, the secret to living is giving. The only way to create and sustain massive wealth is to find a way to deliver more value to more people than anyone else in your chosen marketplace. You must become obsessed with creating surplus value. Your income is not a function of your time, it is a direct function of the value you deliver. If you want a 10x return, you must commit to 10x your value delivery, your skill set, and your capacity to solve enormous problems. The 99% stop their personal development the moment they leave formal education. They settle into a linear career path. The 1% are defined by an unrelenting obsession with growth. They invest their time, energy, and capital into their own mind, their own skills, and their own emotional intelligence. They know their greatest return on investment is always on themselves. Your drive for financial freedom must be linked to a purpose that is bigger than your personal gain, a purpose that pulls you through the downturns, that motivates you past the fear, and that requires a level of resource acquisition, money, to accomplish. Are you going to be rich and miserable, or are you going to be rich and fulfilled? Fulfillment comes from the growth and the contribution. Demand both. The immediate mandate. So, what is the immediate action step? Are you going to go back to the same predictable, mediocre narrative? Are you going to remain part of the 99%? No. I am giving you the 3 mandates of the financial elite. Execute the psychological shift, obliterate your limiting belief system. Stop externalizing your problems. Take radical responsibility for your financial results, starting today. Implement the unseen architecture, automate your savings transfer. Identify and eliminate high-cost fees from your investment portfolio. Shift from consumer to owner. Leverage your value, identify the one high-value skill you can deepen or acquire that will allow you to solve a bigger problem for more people. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is not a secret. It is a series of decisions backed by massive action. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for certainty. Don't wait for the perfect time is now. Demand financial freedom. Create the wealth that buys back your time. Live with power. Live with dominance. Go and make your impossible impact. I believe in your capacity to win.